would push Israel to take its own unilateral decisions, signalling potential shifts in Israeli policy. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
It will not bring us closer to peace or security. It will destabilize the region. It will push Israel also to have unilateral decisions, and that will be a grave mistake.
Meanwhile, Danish Foreign Minister Lars Lokke Rasmussen has made it clear that Denmark currently has no plans to recognise a Palestinian state at the upcoming UN General Assembly. But he did emphasise that Israel does not hold a veto over Denmark's future decisions. He stressed Denmark's support for a Palestinian state comes with strict conditions, including disarmament and democratic governance. We are once again joined by Matti Zaweg to discuss this further. Matti, of course, Benjamin Netanyahu has said that neither the PLO or Hamas cannot be put in charge of Gaza once the Gaza war is over, and says it needs to be a different body in charge of the enclave. However, when it comes to the West Bank, Israel, of course, has announced these E1 settlements, which Bezalel Smotrich stood in front of a board and gladly said there'll be nothing left of a Palestinian state to recognise if these settlements are built. What are your thoughts on Israel's response to this? And of course, of Benjamin Netanyahu's affiliation with his greater Israel vision, which he said he has a deep connection to, which of course also contains Palestinian land as well. Matti, what are your thoughts on that?
Let's divide the question at least in two, if not in three, because this theme has been controversial inside the Israeli society since 1967. Every time there were attempts of doing a peace accord and they partially succeed, and then they came again, the terrorism from different factions from the Palestinian side, and then every time it was like fueling the biggest fears and the biggest extremist sentiments of not doing any kind of concessions to the Palestinian side every time that we are talking about peace, and buses and markets are people blowing away with bombs and with suicidal terrorists. People forget about this, but the people inside Israel don't forget about this. And this is became more and more hard every time. And now we get to this moment. And in this moment, we have a government in Israel that is highly controversial also inside Israel. All the surveys say that there were elections today. They are going to lose by a minimum of 65 to 35. But anyway, we are a democracy and we don't have elections until 2026. What is happening now is, like I said in other themes, that Hamas is playing to the extreme. They are playing to feed the extremists in Israel too, because it's good for their narrative. Their narrative that there is nothing to talk about peace with Israel. We always have to plan how to destroy Israel. And this is playing 100% with the extremists in Israel, that they are not going to talk about not annexing or not pushing for more war or not taking again the control of Gaza. So we are going back to the same point. If Israel and the world are going to dismantle Hamas, everything will be different, because also even the government in Israel, they cannot continue talking that they will have no partners. And about the AP, they have changed the way of behaving every years. They were always, despite all the problems, continued their cooperation with Israel under the Oslo Accords. And today they can be a part of a wider